Oh, look, I'm usurping the fan spot.
Better move, fan.
Better move your little fan butt. She's like, I'm the star here, bitches. Oh, she's so mad. Ooh, she's angry. She is angry.
Mad.
Okay, here, let's.
All right.
Today is everybody's lucky day, isn't it?
Ha-ha.
Ha-ha, it's your lucky day.
Yes, it is.
Cheers, cheers to you. Cheers, everyone. Welcome to
Creative Happy Hour.
Woo, where we get drunk.
On the creative possibilities.
With you guys, our creative
bitches.
And today we're going to get lucky.
Yes,
thanks
we
to
are.
you. No, thanks to us.
Thanks to us.
Thanks to us. You guys are going to get lucky.
Yep.
Actually, we're going to be talking about luck and creativity and success. And we are drinking
the Orgasm number 7.
Yes, the Orgasm.
I don't know about you, but that's
7.
not a very easy thing to accomplish. Therefore, if you have 7 orgasms,
you are a lucky
You're
bitch.
pretty lucky bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? So we're going to talk. The reason
we have one right here in a glass.
We have an Orgasm number 7, and it is made with Bailey's Irish cream. So I'm going to give you a little tidbit about the luck of the Irish as well. So that'll be good. So cheers. Let's taste this bitch.
Cheers.
Let's do it. Okay, let's try it. Oh my God, I'm scared actually.
It looks kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
It smells weird too.
I mean,
it's a little bit like a milkshake.
Yeah, I'm not having an orgasm.
I almost feel like this should be a slushie.
Right. This would make a really good slushie.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is that I feel that, okay, so what's in the Orgasm number 7? We need to tell people because people are like, you made this shit up. We did not. Bailey's Irish cream. So the famous luck of the Irish situation. And which normally I would put in my coffee or in my eggnog.
Right.
Mm-hmm. What did we do? What else did we make with Bailey's? We made something with Bailey's.
Is that why we have it?
Yeah, maybe. No, I don't think no, because it was brand new. So I don't know what the hell we did. Anyway, no, we did the Irish coffee.
Oh, we did Irish coffee.
We did Irish coffee.
So good.
That's right. It was good in the Irish coffee.
Yeah.
But, and then I put in some Cointreau. So the orange liqueur. And what I think is that the Cointreau kind of balanced that whole weird.
It's like a creamsicle.
It's like a creamsicle. It tastes like a creamsicle, which is fine with me. I mean, that's kind of lucky mix to me. So do you know why they say the luck of the Irish, by the way?
No, not exactly. I mean, it's something to do with like the 4-leaf clovers and the leprechauns and
right. That's what I thought, but it's not. So yeah, because I was like, oh, 4-leaf. Okay, so 4-leaf clover, I guess, was considered lucky.
St. Patrick?
Right. No, St. Patrick was not that lucky. He just cast the snakes out of Ireland. It's like whatever.
It was nice of him.
Which was very kind of him. He's kind of like the Pied Piper, but like with snakes. No, actually, so the Irish, so the luck of the Irish was when it was the silver and gold mining time.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of the guys who were doing all of that silver and gold mining were Irish or of Irish descent. And when they would actually find something, and there was a snobbery because they were kind of like the new, imports. They were the new kind of, immigrants. And so whenever they would get something, people would say, and it wasn't very kind, and they'd say, oh, it's the luck of the Irish. Like, i.e., they have to be super lucky because they're dumbasses. Like,
yeah, they didn't actually accomplish it. They just got lucky.
Right. They just got lucky. They didn't deserve their success.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today, other than the Irish. We're not going to talk about them anymore. No. But most successful artists and creative entrepreneurs and writers and musicians, like people will say, or actors, people will say, oh, they were lucky, they were in the right time.
Yeah, they got a lucky break.
Yeah, they were in the right place at the right time. They got a lucky break. Yeah, lucky break is such a big expression. Yeah,
it's a big one in the art world.
It's a huge one in the art world, and we're going to kind of examine that. And also they'll be like, oh, they knew the right people, or they had the right connections, and that's and a lot of times when somebody makes it financially, they'll say, oh, they were born under auspicious circumstances.
Yeah.
So like, let's talk about all of that.
I think it's both. I think
that's the nice short answer. I think that yes, it's both. But we're going to tell you guys, like, let's walk through it. Let's have like a whole discussion about what is kind of a lucky circumstance and what does it mean? B, like, why is it important to actually analyze how we feel about luck and success? And like, let's talk about.
Good thing. It's a good thing to look at.
It is, because if you have the wrong attitude about luck and success, you're going to start thinking that, oh, well, I'm not lucky, therefore I shouldn't try.
I'm not going to try.
Or, yeah.
I'm not going to put myself out there.
Absolutely. And sometimes if you are kind of lucky, but you don't like believe in the lucky part, you're going to be a little bit less generous when it comes to helping other people that you perceive as less lucky or more lucky. Like it's a weird thing.
That's a good point.
Where you have to have that gratitude that comes from being like, wow, I acknowledge the part of luck that I had.
Right.
But then most importantly, we're going to tell you how to be more lucky. When it comes to creative success, we're going to tell you how to get lucky. Exactly. Yeah. So let's take one more sip of this because I want to analyze this a little bit more. Like, let's see if this is a lucky mixture. Is it? Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, it's not bad. I'll drink it. I mean, I'll drink close to anything, but
I mean, it's like,
it
kind of reminds me of one of those, you know, those like Starbucks latte.
Oh my God. Could you imagine I'll have an orgasm latte, please.
Yeah, you know, they're like really like creamy and
this is
like
creamy.
Sweet.
Oh, it's like a frappuccino.
Yeah, like a frappuccino.
It's like a total
That's what
frappuccino.
it tastes like.
It's a melted frappuccino.
Yeah.
Hey, they said that this could be a nightcap, and I was like, oh, how perfect. I have an orgasm as a nightcap.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds like a lucky lucky thing.
Sounds like my weekend.
No. Right? I think it's tasty. I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
7 is also
Seven's a lucky number.
Is a lucky number as well.
That was the other thing. I was like, this is so auspicious. Yeah. And I need all the luck I can get these days.
I do too.
So,
I'm ready to guzzle this thing, freebase it.
Right? I wanted to give everybody, speaking of luck, I wanted to give everybody a little update on my vision board because you know how, one part of being lucky is having that roadmap to success. I think that really, really helps.
And to have your vision.
To have your vision clearer. Like if your vision's not clear, that luck is not really going to come your way.
Right.
And if it is, you might kind of ignore it and not see it for what it is.
Right.
But so my vision board had been placed behind my door, kind of flopping over in my bedroom. Bad feng shui.
Bad feng shui.
That's bad feng shui. And I'm not going to say who put it there, but I think it was somebody who's
I'm not going to name any names.
We're not going to name names, but I think it was someone who's dream crusher is what we'll call them. And
hashtag dream crusher.
Yeah, hashtag dream crusher.
You know who you are.
You know who you are, if you're even listening. But so I insisted that Dream Crusher purchase a corkboard for me so that I could put my vision board where it deserves to be.
Where it belongs.
Where it belongs. Behind, like in front of my desk,
right
so
in your
that
face,
in my face, so
up in your face,
up in my face, so I can see my vision clearly.
Yes.
And I feel like my luck is turning around already.
Ooh,
I do.
Ooh, do tell.
Yeah, no, just in general. I mean, okay. Half of the thing of saying like luck is that when you do all the freaking hard work, like you know, the more you work, the luckier you are, right? I mean, that's the truth. But there's also such a thing as working in a vacuum and being kind of busy work. And not going anywhere. So I think that, that's a major vision thing.
Yeah. I mean, I look back on my life and because I was trying, when I was coming over here, I was thinking about times where maybe I got lucky.
You got lucky.
Or
the G-rated luck.
Yeah, the G-rated luck.
Yes.
But I was thinking back, I grew up in cornfields in Ohio.
Yeah.
My parents were working class. There was no...
This is so lucky because you've been doing this lately where you like set up the thing where it's like, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the accident of birth.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're talking. So you were born to working class parents in the cornfields. Did they,
I mean, I'm being generous when I say working class. Like, we were some poor ass bitches, okay?
Right, you're some poor ass bitches.
I mean, we were in straight up Appalachia.
But you and your brother, like, your siblings, you guys are very successful. So what was that? Was there an accident of birth that kind of privileged the education? Or were you guys genetically lucky? Like, what happened? Tell me. There's got to be some form of luck.
I think it's always multifaceted. I always think there's many factors that play into any kind of luck. And I think... in my case, I just found out on the disc profile that I'm a driver. So
yeah, you're a driver.
So I already have this like personality traits that I'm ambitious.
You're ambitious, yes.
And so that's kind of built into me. Mm-hmm. And so that's probably somehow genetic, I guess.
Yeah.
But my grandparents were, my dad's side were very, they were kind of ambitious for farmers as well. And
you said you had a grandmother who was very like...
My grandmother was...
chic and
she was a farmer, but she was very smart. She, prized education, even though she only had an 8th grade education. Mm-hmm. She was a Democrat. She was just kind of with it about things like, feminism and but before it was even
before
a
her
thing.
time.
Before it
was just amazing. Yes.
And so she was always kind of a role model for me. She had this very much like, you can be poor, but you don't have to be dirty. You can be poor, but you don't have to be dumb. She had these values that she would, kind of teach you. So anyway, the lucky thing that happened was I was living in the cornfields. I had this strong desire.
Children of the corn.
Yeah, I was children of the corn. I had this strong desire to live in a place that had more culture, more things going on. I really wanted to go to college. That wasn't going to be an option for me, considering my parents didn't go to college and they didn't have any money. So I told myself early on, if there's ever an opportunity that comes up where I get to leave Ohio, I'm going to take it. No questions asked.
Yes, you're going to jump on that luck. When that luck comes, you're going to see it. When it comes,
I'm going to know it and I'm going to do it. And I just made a deal with myself.
I like that. I like that identifying like that lucky break.
That it had to happen. I couldn't live the rest of my life there.
No,
I couldn't do it.
No. Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know how the hell it's going to happen, but when it does, and I had already decided that it was happening. When it does, I'm just going to do it. And so sure enough, my older brother had moved, with an aunt out to California, and he was living in California, and he came to visit for, I just graduated high school, literally.
So that's the luck of good timing too. Yeah. Okay.
And so I was done with school and I was taking a class at the University of Cincinnati. My car breaks down.
Holy shit. Another thing of luck. This is amazing.
Take joy in a sudden disappointment.
Yes.
And so I have to call him to get a ride. I call the house and he's there and he's like, oh, I'll come pick you up. So he comes to pick me up and we're talking and, I think I even smoked a joint or something. So I was a little bit high too.
So you're seeing luck everywhere.
Yeah. And so I get in the car and we start talking and he's like, hey, I have a proposition for you. And I was like, great, what is it? He was like, I'm going to have a room open in a month in California. I can't pay your rent, but if you want to move in a month, you just have to tell me and it's yours.
Wow.
So I was like, I'll take it. I didn't even hesitate. That's take it.
That is awesome.
And so I sold my car, bought a plane ticket, sent some boxes. I got a job, 3 days after I was here working in a cafe.
Perfect.
And and it was one of those things where I was like, so to me, that's kind of the definition of luck.
Yes, it is to have that opportunity. Yeah, no, I think that you recognized your luck
early on.
And I think that that's amazing. I think the interesting thing for me, I had kind of that lucky birth where I was born, into a, comfortable family and this and that thought education was important and all of those things, except that my thing was that I was a little bit of a rebel when it came to those circumstances. And I think that maybe I kind of shat on some of the potential luck that I could have had early on. So then I had to go running after it later.
Right.
And I mean, I've had a lot of really incredibly lucky experiences. I was thinking the other day, even leading up to, just my whole career of doing these things that most people would consider to be wow, isn't that lucky that she, hosted a radio show and she worked for these magazines and she did this and she did that. And I'm like, yeah, but then there's also the luck that we create for ourselves. I mean, we work every Monday on shooting this thing and we, do our podcast and, and the fact that we're going to get famous from this is not a lucky break. It's not, but it's something that we're working on. There was a part of luck that we met, that we have this fun, co-host rapport and that we decided to do this and that we took that opportunity and that we decided and that I happened to have bought this equipment and all, you have that luck.
Saying yes to that. That opportunity.
Yes.
It really kind of, I wish we had a definition of lucky.
Oh, I have all kinds of different definitions, of course. But lucky can be, so there are different types of luck. So you've got the luck of your birth, right? So that's the first thing that kind of sets you up. But then, luck can be those opportunities that you jump on or don't.
Yeah.
But then you've got two different types. You've got the situational luck, where you're going to go into a situation and the outcome's going to be kind of better for you. And so there are these weird statistical luck things that really seem to be kind of random, but that whole Pareto principle thing where 20% of the people are more successful than the other 80. That's something that seems to boil down sometimes to luck and then sometimes to what you do with luck. But you've got that absolute, you've got that situation, you've got all different kinds of luck. So there's not a single definition.
Well, if you think about it, even if you're in war or you're in, you
Yes.
know, a concentration camp, you know,
you can have luck at any moment. Like luck, like that's the thing that people think of as absolute luck, which is like, he was born lucky, he had this beautiful life. Like, look at Kobe Bryant.
He had a charmed life.
He had a charmed life, but like, look at somebody like Kobe Bryant.
Oh yeah, who just passed away.
Who just passed away. And by the time you guys watch this, it's going to have been a while. And I think that everybody's still going to be very touched by his story. But look, he had a charmed existence. Kobe Bryant was born to, you know, a professional athlete and the sister of a professional athlete. He was, you know, his parents were very into education. They moved him to Italy. He had an international background.
Yeah.
Charming, good looking, talented, you know, played basketball, gave back to the community, had a gorgeous wife, all these daughters. Gorgeous family. I mean, you would think, oh my, you know, super wealthy, great life, you know.
He's untouchable.
Untouchable. And then boom, you know, the luck runs out. And, you know, it can always, you're always the victim of potential, you know, a swing, upswing, downswing.
Right.
When you're, you know, double lucky, you can react to the bad luck by making something good out of it. So let's see what Vanessa Bryant does in her second act. You know, she's had this terrible luck, but at the same time, okay, let's see. I mean, it sounds horrible to say now, but maybe.
Well, it kind of reminds me even of, I mean, as you say that about her in this loss, you know, I think of Sheryl Sandberg.
Yes. Oh my God.
You know,
Lean in.
Yeah. Well, she suddenly lost her husband and, you know, they were on vacation.
Yeah.
And he was a healthy guy on the treadmill.
Just boom.
And just gone. And she ended up, there was another, you know, she ended up collaborating with a friend of their family's.
Yes.
Who was a therapist.
Yes.
And then they ended up writing a collaborative book on kind of, you know, the importance of these, you know, maybe tragic circumstances, creating resilience and motivating you to continue to move on and build that into your life in a positive way. And
totally.
So,
like, reacting properly to a downturn is what's going to make all the difference.
But you would consider her very lucky too. I mean, she's like the COO of Facebook, you know, very successful.
Very. And she loses, I mean, and then you have to like kind of put things into, you know, perspective because somewhere in losing her husband, she got even more notoriety in a thing that made her more human. And so she has this whole other side of her. She was just that business.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden she's got this whole thing with the loss.
Like you really get to experience her depth.
Yeah, completely. Like it gives you, you know, more of that idea. So I think that that's incredible. Now, when we look at more like, you know, creative people who we assume have, you know, all of this depth to begin with, but creatives are extremely competitive. Like almost more competitive than just pure business people. I think creatives have so much ego tied in that they love to look at other people who've succeeded and been like, those lucky bastards.
Right.
You know? And then the ones, so I did an experiment today, which was fun. I do experiments a lot. I'm an experimenter. That's how I'm going to get. That's
She's a social scientist.
I'm a social scientist. You didn't know that about me. So I posted a thing about luck and success and on my writing boards. So, you know, all these people who are all wrapped up in their writing stuff, and you've got some more successful ones, less successful. And I was like, so I'm thinking about luck. What part of, you know, success comes from luck? So interesting. So it was like, you know, total war just broke out, you know.
Oh, wow, I love that.
So so some of the writers are like, oh, well, you know, some of these writers, their work sucks, 50 Shades of Grey, that's dumb luck, like it's so bad, it's just lucky that people wanted to read that shit, blah, 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 blah. And then this other person who, by the way, and I hate to, they won't be listening to this, so I'm safe. Their response was incredibly badly written. And they were kind of like, well, I don't think it's luck that I had all these bestsellers. P.S. I Googled them. I couldn't find that they were bestselling.
You can find any of them. But...
Yeah, but like, it's not any kind of luck that I'm a bestselling author. I was like, but maybe they're a bestselling author in their own, you know, in their own categories.
In their
maybe
own
not
self-published way.
Yeah, maybe not New York Times, but maybe something else. I don't know. But they're like, yeah, it's not luck. I worked hard. I did this. Yeah, but some, you know, so you've got that thing where that person who thought they were hardworking is going to feel very ungenerous towards anybody.
Well, and you don't want to, you know, I think there's something about that, thinking about something that you've worked really hard on and then saying, oh, well, you just have recognition because you got lucky.
Oh my God, Micah, you just said recognition. Okay. On my iPad, look, recognition. So that's what I wanted to talk about.
No,
So,
I
right? This
I'm
is crazy.
extremely psychic, and I
It's
download
really-
shit. I'm telling you.
It's so crazy.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it's
no, that
creepy.
is, you're mentioning recognition.
Well-
That's exactly right. Like that, if that is how you measure artistic success, then the luck is going to need to lead to recognition, not something else.
Not to monetary value.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I just read, I'm reading that Creative Spark book.
Right.
And did I talk about the Barbara Kingsolver one already? Where
No.
she was working as, I don't remember what she was doing.
Mm-hmm. I love her. She's an amazing writer.
I do too. And when I first moved to California and I started going to college in Marin, I remember, I was taking classes and I was taking these English classes. And one of my teachers was really into early Barbara Kingsolver.
What was that?
It was the
first
bean
one?
tree, the bean trees.
The bean trees. Mm-hmm.
And then Pigs in Heaven. And I'm trying to remember.
And then there was the other one that I really loved.
Yeah, there was
the one that happened in Africa.
Oh, that was
so Poisonwood Bible.
Poisonwood Bible.
That was awesome. It was so well written.
Oh my God, my boyfriend Paul says the same thing about that one. He loved that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I read it too. I don't remember.
I will never forget reading like the first couple of pages. I was like, oh my God.
But
like,
she talks about in this interview with, is it Robert Shapiro that wrote this book? I don't know.
She remembers names more than I do. And
anyway, he interviewed her and I was reading the interview and basically, she was like, yeah, I wrote it. I was working at another job. I really wanted to write this novel. I was compelled to write The Bean Trees.
Wow.
I put the manuscript and mailed it off. And she's like, honestly, I just got lucky that someone liked it. That my publisher liked it. That the publisher liked it.
In a way, she did. In a way, it was luck.
And she was like, and that was the way it was then.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, it was really kind of a crapshoot. And she was like, and to have that much commercial success with it she was like, it was luck. On a lot of levels.
Part of it was luck.
Very, very well written. Don't get me wrong.
Exactly. But then again,
when English teachers are bringing new fiction into classrooms, it's really
it's well written, and it was extraordinarily well written. But it is luck that the publisher was actually
got it.
That they actually
got it,
received it, that it actually came across their desk.
It resonated with them, and they were like, "Oh, I like this. Let's publish this."
We were talking, so we went to a wine tasting this week. I like to bring it back to alcohol because that's the way I roll. So we went to a wine tasting.
I was hoping you would as soon as possible.
Alcohol, yes,
ASAP.
Right, ASAP. So we go to this wine tasting, and there were two different winemakers, and we were talking about the different ratings they've gotten, about whether that was luck or not, actually, because I've been, the luck thing's been on my mind this whole time. And so they were saying, they're like, like Bob Parker, Robert Parker, who was doing like the listings.
Yes.
Everybody started trying to do a wine like Bob Parker style so that they would get those rankings. But sometimes it's the luck of the draw, like the weather, like how are the grapes going to be? What's your fruit like? What's the weather like? What if you've got a freeze? What if you've got a fire? Yeah. And so you've got that part of luck. And then how's the winemaker going to react to what happens? And then we're like, and then that last part of luck is when they're tasting your wine. Are they in a good mood? Are they in bad mood? What happened to them? What did they eat before?
Did they sleep last night? Did they get into a fight with their husband?
All of it. Like all of that has an effect. And
everything is a factor.
Exactly.
In generating this luck
and the judgment
machine.
And that's the thing where, like, when you're talking about a business, the only part of the luck is actually whether it's going to catch on and then make that money, because the money is kind of it's much more like, objective rather than subjective. But in the art world, you have to get past. So this is an interesting thing about luck. One of the big factors of luck in the art world is you need to be somewhere near like the gatekeepers, basically. And so this is what happened to Hemingway, for example. Like Hemingway, who honestly, like we like to shit on Hemingway a lot.
I mean,
we shit on.
I don't have the palate for Hemingway.
No, you don't. I just don't. She just won't taste.
It'll be funny because one day I'll be like, oh my God. I mean, the only book I had to read was the Hemingway book, and I'll read everything Hemingway ever wrote, and I'll become obsessed.
Dude,
and I'll do like a documentary.
So deep.
Yeah. No, I mean, something like that will happen because
I will laugh so hard. But but freaking Hemingway was this young writer. Freaking Hemingway. He was kind of like, listen, he was born a macho white man. Okay, already people will say.
I'm already throwing up in my mouth.
Right. And people will say, okay, that already set him up. But somebody was smart enough to say, hey, you know what? You need to get in front of Gertrude Stein. She's the person who's
my God.
Seriously.
Have you ever read Gertrude Stein?
Right?
Talk
Seriously.
about like, I mean.
Exactly. But she was the gatekeeper. She was the one who was like, your stuff is shit.
Yeah.
So he had to get in front of her. So he moved to Paris, to this shitty neighborhood. It's not like when you think of Hemingway.
I had no idea about that.
So when you think of Hemingway going to Paris, you think of Hemingway hanging out in these shishi cafes. But the reality was he moved to the shittiest place in Paris, you know, to save money, and because like he's at the end of his rope and he needs access to Gertrude Stein.
He needs Gertrude.
He needs Gertrude.
Oh my
and
God.
so he puts Gertrude in his pocket. Funny. And how does he do that? He does that by helping her and by helping all these other people who were also in Paris at the time. So that's another way to increase your luck, is not only do you get close to the gatekeepers and close to the people who are the influencers of your day, but you help them.
Yeah.
And helping others who are on their way up, that is going to help you to get on your
I agree.
Right?
I agree with
that helps your luck immensely.
I agree with you.
So like that's the thing, you know, for me, like on my
So think about what you're gonna back up or what you're gonna invest in.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
Totally. And think about when you're being an asshole to those who are lesser than because you've gotten lucky and that you're moving up. Do like Kevin Spacey, who's had his share of major problems, but he had that little charity that would send the elevator back down. For the young guys. But anyway, it sent the elevator back down so he could help others, because I think that helping others really does help. And I think that honestly, Kevin Spacey will probably somehow rise from the ashes at some point more than Harvey Weinstein, who, you know, he wasn't that helpful to anyone. But if he was, you know, like I think Harvey Weinstein's going to get off easier than you would think, because he did do some things for some people, even if it was you know, it was kind of this horrible exchange, but, you know, so I think that that's interesting. Like that increases your luck.
Yeah.
Then you've got people like one other lucky one. Like I keep thinking of all the different things. So here's a fun lucky break story. So you had, so I was like dissecting all the lucky break stories. So I
drank that whole milkshake.
Right. The milkshake wasn't bad. My milkshake brings a little.
I mean, it's kind of against my diet.
Right. And now it's like 7 orgasms later, I'm
like,
burned it off. You're like done. But I was looking at all these like these actor success stories.
Oh yeah.
Because everybody says lucky break, lucky break, lucky break.
Yeah.
So like one of them was Rosario Dawson, who was like basically sitting on her stoop when Harmony Korine, who did like Kids and everything.
Yeah.
And some other person, of course, I suck at names and I suck at details.
I'm really bad at it, but especially with actors.
Right? But she's sitting on her stoop and these guys literally pull up and see her sitting there and she's gorgeous. But like, what a lucky break. Like if she hadn't been sitting at her stoop exactly at that time, they wouldn't have stopped the car.
She could have been like, I have to go to the bathroom and like gone in the house.
And she wouldn't have had a film career. Like that is how she literally like got her lucky break, was in Kids. And then from then on, like kind of paid her dues until now she's kind of a superstar.
That's unreal.
Or like somebody like Harrison Ford, who was basically like, he was doing all these bit parts in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But he put himself in the right place. Then he was the carpenter and he was doing things for the Doors. Like he was doing doors for the Doors. And then George Lucas, who was a young producer director at the time, hired him to be in American
Graffiti,
first. And then that led to Star Wars and everything else. But that is, okay, so that's luck. But look at Harrison Ford, not too stupid. He's got some of the right attributes. Like he's good looking, he's tall, he puts himself in Hollywood. He's not a carpenter for the like losers. He's a carpenter for the Doors.
Yeah, no, I mean,
that, you know, like you're putting
you
yourself
have to position yourself, you know, and I mean, I think that that's actually essential.
Absolutely. Like I think that that's really amazing. But like, you know, that's like, and even you look at Charlize Theron, who like goes to LA, she throws a hissy fit in the line at the bank.
Right.
And basically because she was down on her luck. This is like her last check. She's like homeless at this point. She claims, of course, this is like her story. It's like her origin myth.
Everybody has that.
Yeah. But like, hello, like she's gorgeous. She's a trained dancer. She's in LA. She's in the right place. She throws a hissy fit, you know, pretty much like every bank in LA has like, you know, at least somebody who works in the movie industry somewhere. I mean, maybe she was throwing hissy fits in every bank until that happened. I don't know.
That's interesting. We'll have to interview her when we're famous.
When we're famous, we'll
be
like,
come on, tell us.
Tell us the truth. You how many hissy fits
tell us.
Did you throw before you actually
How
got
many banks did you do this in? Come on, how many?
You can tell us. It's fine. We won't tell. Yes, we will. But I think that's kind of those success stories, though.
Yeah.
I think kind of make the people who perceive themselves as less lucky. It makes them feel like it can happen to them.
Well, I think you have to look at people's careers and you have to reverse engineer them. Because,
yes.
Because, I was talking, I have a friend who's an actor in LA who I just saw recently at one of his like stand-up.
Yeah, and you're telling me, how amazing that he's like where he is.
Well, yeah, and he's
not amazing, right?
And he hangs out with all these like ultra famous people.
Yeah.
And, he's in that, but he has, like little parts, kind of like what you were saying, these bit parts and all these different movies and all these different things. And I was telling, my boyfriend Paul, who grew up with him, I was like, I was reverse engineering.
Yeah, you're like, Paul, okay, so you need to throw a hissy fit in the bank with this guy.
No, I was reverse engineering Robin Williams' career. Robin Williams was a comedian, and even so then he transitioned to being this dramatic theater artist where, where he did Good Will Hunting.
Yes.
And even if you watch Mrs. Doubtfire, which
that's a serious role.
It's a serious.
It's sad as fuck.
Very sad when he's getting when he's getting his kids taken away
horrible,
and he's horribly heartbroken. And, there's so much comedy in it, but it's really sad. But the flip side is so much tragedy, right?
So much, yes.
And so, I was like, well, what, and I know this guy. I'm like, well, what if he went for, instead of always doing the comedy role, what if he went for a role that was way outside his genre?
But look at Good Morning Vietnam, which was also meant to be kind of funny, but it was tragic, fucking tragic. And when you look back at all the stuff he did, and what was that other one where he's the doctor for the really sick kid?
God, I just watched that. That was
like bawl your freaking eyes out.
Oh my God,
that was kind of his thing. It was like the comedy in the tragedy was Robin Williams' thing. What was it called? I can't remember.
Yeah, but early on he was Mork and Mindy.
Yeah, he was Mork and Mindy.
Yeah, and he was just, he was like...
But that was like a fish out of water comedy where he still brought a little bit of, a little nuance.
There was an emotional element to it. But, I think when you look at an artist and you look at you have to look at an artist that has the ability to, they can kind of sweep all these genres. I think you kind of have to reverse engineer it and talk about
trace it back. Like hindsight is 2020. So you look and you see what did they do?
I shouldn't have brought him up because it's not lucky that he killed himself.
No, but but just like Kobe, it's like you've got a charmed life up to a point, right? And also you don't know, that's the other thing. So this is the other thing I think also that's really important. So if you're a creative, I want to say this because it's super important, especially today, but always, there's been this machine of promotion and PR where you tell somebody's origin story. You tell their lucky break story and you tell the story of that's magical to inspire people. And it leads other people to think, oh, they're special. They had that break. They had that luck.
Yeah.
And half the time that is not the full story. Yeah. There's tragedy behind it. There's effort behind it. There's work behind it. And so we're seeing this little snippet, we're seeing that little piece. So there was a funny analogy.
Well, even if you look at Lin-Manuel Miranda, the Hamilton.
Yeah,
I just thought that guy was just like a regular guy. I thought he was a teacher.
He didn't come out of nowhere.
No, and then you tell me that he has political parents and that he comes from a wealthy family.
Come on.
All these things. And I'm like, oh, he's just a guy. He's just really, he's this really brilliant guy that had a lucky break.
No. It was lucky in some way.
And he was brilliant. He created Hamilton
and many things besides. So what is buzzing?
My Fitbit.
Your Fitbit's for example, that whole origin myth thing, that's something I think that both kind of makes people dream. It's like dreaming you're going to win the lottery.
Right.
But then you don't think of all the work that's behind it. So it's kind of that kind of hurts people who are creatives as well because they think, oh, that's out of reach. But I don't think it always is. So there's this really interesting, and the people who are lucky, they're not going to tell you about how they actually made it. Because I think that in hindsight, you don't realize.
Well, unless you ask. That is one of the things in this book.
Even if you ask, I think that afterwards the perception, so this was a fun analogy that I read. So if you're riding your bike and you're riding into the wind and you're fighting the wind and fighting the wind and fighting the wind, right? And you're like, fuck, this wind's really making it hard for me, right? And then the wind switches and it's at your back and it's pushing you and you're pedaling fast. You don't feel that wind at your back that much. You don't feel how much help is happening
Right.
afterwards. You
No,
know what
that's
I
true.
mean?
That's true.
And
You're only going to talk about how hard the wind was.
Yes. Like,
Yeah.
and I think
no, and
that
we have that little, I don't know what you call it. I mean, that negative bias. We have a negative bias.
It's a total, well,
it's scientifically proven that you're more upset if you lose $20 than if you find $20.
Absolutely.
Like you're actually more affected by losing $20 than you are by gaining $20.
Completely. Yes. We don't see
we have a negative bias.
We do have a negative bias. But also the other interesting thing is that when you have those wins, but also once somebody gains that success, it's so much easier to keep having the luck. Like we have that bias where we all want to buy in to the thing that's already successful. Yeah. So that's a really crazy thing where I would think that if you want to like kind of jury rig like extra luck, give everybody the impression that you're a very lucky person who already has some.
Ooh, I like this. That's a really good idea.
Oh my God, yes. So if you like our whole fake it
just telling me this.
No. Oh no, I always say fake it till you make it. That's my thing. That's the whole point behind fake it if you make it, is that you are going to make people think that you're more successful. Therefore, they're going to want to kind of emulate that and follow you and support you. Which sucks because it's when you're down here that you need people to be like, wow, I just discovered you. I'm amazing. Somebody said that coming to terms with luck is the secular equivalent of religious awakening.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the first step in building any coherent universalist moral perspective. So acknowledging the role of luck lays a moral foundation for like more humane viewing of different things. I'm like, that's incredible. So basically what that means is like, if somebody else is down on their luck, like be a little bit understanding,
right?
Be a little bit, like much more humane about it and be like, they're down on their luck.
Yeah.
And like, let me give them a hand because that's not a moral statement for them at all. So I was like, oh.
No, I mean, unless they do it every month or every week.
Oh my God, yes. I mean,
unless a pattern emerges.
Yes, absolutely.
Where that's their thing, like, I'm down on my luck again.
Yes.
Unless you're dealing with like a victim mentality.
Yeah, completely. And you know what? If you're an artist, so this is the other thing I saw. When I put out my little feelers on the luck thing online that I was asking people about things, I had this one guy where he was like, yeah, I hate writers who, write for success and who want to make the money. And I'm sitting here working on my stuff and my stuff is better and I'm going to be poor forever. And I was like, oh my God, dude. Like, yeah, you probably will be with that attitude, but that's cool.
Yeah. And see, that whole purist mentality.
It was crazy. So I asked
or like,
him,
you can't write pop music after you're 25.
Because that's selling out. You can't do this. You can't do that.
And you're like, can't, never, will, never.
Exactly. So this one guy commented before I got a chance to like go back. This one guy comments, goes, good luck with your poor writing. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, snap, I like you. But I commented back, I said, listen, I have a little question for you. I said, what if by some crazy type of luck, your writing was discovered and all of a sudden people are throwing money at you? What would you do? Would you reject it? Would you reject the luck that led you with your superior writing to succeed? And he then wrote this weird semi-porny thing where I was like, well, okay, well, cool.
You're like, I'm not asking to
I didn't
sleep
ask for
with
porn.
you.
I did not ask for porn. I did not ask for Orgasm number 7.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to meet up with you.
No, it was not that. It was a real question. But
wow.
And I was like, you just answered why you're down on your luck, my friend. It's a pattern.
You're not getting laid.
You're not getting. Yeah, it's not happening. So
sad and mad.
Let's get you a list of things to really So I gave that one fun little. I think that was good. That little how to be more lucky is to act more lucky. I think that's good. So I've got more.
Act more lucky. I like that.
Act lucky. How to get lucky. Act lucky.
Act lucky.
So
wants to see what you have.
So I had a list of actually what different types of luck, what different things that can bring you luck are.
Oh.
And this kind of goes into
charm bracelet?
So yeah, charm bracelet. That's what rabbit's foot.
Putting yourself on multiple dating sites.
Yeah. That's good. That works. Well, Warren Buffett he talks about the ovarian lottery. Ovarian lottery. And I was like,
ovarian.
Oh,
what an a-hole.
I know. I was like, ovarian. That's funny because I kind of right. I know. I was like,
men use this for another thing.
I know, but I feel like there's so many people who are born wealthy white men that that's not it. That's not enough. I was like, Warren,
those days are
you
kind
might
of
be wealthy.
over.
Yeah, you might be wealthy, but that's not. That's not what this is. So, okay, being born in a favorable environment, maybe, but not always. Definitely not. I've come across a ton of examples of super
people that squander their lives.
Well, some people squander, and then other people are super successful and lucky who were born in a concentration camp or who were born in a war-torn country, and they make it out and they make their luck. So that's not it. Having talent, that's the luck of the draw genetically, maybe, but having talent is not enough. There are a ton of super talented people.
Well, there's people that are more
lame.
persistent than a talented person. So you have somebody who's more persistent.
Yeah.
And more persuasive.
Persuasive is a good one. I like
and
that
better looking.
And better looking.
I mean, look at who was
that
woman that was on
the one who sang from the thing from Cats, the English woman.
She had the incredible voice.
Yes.
But she was supposedly under
but where's she now?
Unattractive.
So she won the thing, but where's she now? I can't remember her name. She's still like in all the tabloids, but like that's the only place.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Anyway.
But the other thing is finding a mentor.
To bring her into this.
Right. Finding a mentor who helps you. Like finding the mentor. I mentioned Hemingway with
Gertrude Stein. I mean
Gertrude, who was very much like she was that gatekeeper, but she was also very much that mentor at the same time. And I think that having a mentor, if you listen to them, is actually like that's a major.
Yeah, I mean Gertrude Stein was the SEO.
Yes.
Of the late 1800s.
I mean, incredible,
early
right?
1900s.
She absolutely was like. If you knew her and if you hung out with her like that,
and she accepted you, then you were in. You would have some art success.
Absolutely, potentially. But absolutely, you really, really would. I mean, that's absolutely true.
She was badass.
Also, coming across the thing that actually ignites your passion, because what if you're born in the right environment, you're talented, you're good looking, but you never find that thing that motivates you. You're just gonna be a slacker. You're gonna be a slacker.
You're like mushy.
Mm-hmm. And also finding yourself surrounded by the right people, i.e. partnerships.
Right.
So being able to find that person that you can
bounce things off. Well, they say you're the average of the five people that you hang out with. You're the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So
I hang out with Fiona a lot.
You hang out with a bunch of losers, people. Guess what? That's your average. You're going to be a loser.
That's the average. And if you're bringing the average down in your group of friends, like, lucky you, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
For them.
Maybe they're bringing your average up. I don't know.
They are. So, so the person who'd said that success snowballs, the one that I would say that people with money can game the system, that is an economist called Alan Kruger.
I don't know him.
Alan Kruger, he's an economist. He did a paper about luck and gaming the system. And we see the example in terms of writing success.
Right.
Bestseller on the New York Times bestseller list, Donald Trump Jr., whose daddy's Republican National Committee.
Or Girl Wash Your Face. I mean,
but the RNC bought $95,000 worth of his book right out of the gate, and so of course it's a bestseller. It's like you can game the system of success. Girl Wash Your Face. Come on, there has to be something. We need to believe that there's something that we can learn from Rachel. What's her name? Rachel Hollis. Rachel Hollis.
Rachel Hollerback.
Yeah, Rachel Hollerback girl. So. The book that we've been talking about a lot lately actually is Atomic Habits.
Yes.
We've mentioned that a few times. James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, he goes, I love this. It doesn't matter how successful or unsuccessful you are right now. What matters is whether your habits are putting you on the path towards success. You should be far more concerned with your current trajectory than with your current results. So I wanted to talk about that too, because luck kind of yields these results, but work creates the trajectory.
Yeah, it gives you the opportunity to
get a direction,
to get into a place where you could potentially be lucky.
Totally. So I think that
the more people you talk to about what you're doing, the more people you get around that have influence or possibly.
Well, that's where the trajectory. That's where it comes in.
Then you increase your statistical chances of becoming lucky.
Exactly. But I like that idea of trajectory versus just pure results.
Yeah.
Because results are just points on a graph, basically. Results are just like one thing.
And you could be working on some brilliant thing, artistic, creative venture in a basement by yourself.
But you're slowly moving there. And you need to keep moving forward.
But even if you're there and you're not doing anything, you're not interacting, you're not putting yourself out there,
then there's no trajectory.
Then there's no trajectory.
Yeah, it's about the forward.
I mean,
movement.
They could find it in like some kind of time capsule
when you die
100 years later, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's brilliant!"
That was brilliant. Well, it's like that guy at the Smithsonian. There's this guy who did this whole crazy thing in his garage out of tinfoil. It was like amazing. It was like all aluminum foil,
and they
things
found
like
it
genius after his death in a garage. Yeah. like,
you don't want to be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
You want to get paid for this brilliant, weird shit that you do.
And for your luck, you want to make your luck in your life.
In your life. You don't want to get lucky after. Like,
no, getting lucky when you're dead.
You don't feel an orgasm when you're dead. Like, it doesn't resonate.
The little death is different than real death. We're just saying. So,
you're. Oh my God, I can't even believe I do this.
Hey,
like that.
So your friend Nassim Taleb.
I love Nassim.
Right, you're into Nassim. So Nassim,
I'm into Nassim.
He wrote a book which I love called "Fooled by Randomness."
Oh, I didn't read that one. How random.
She thinks she likes Nassim Taleb.
I do. I mean, he's a brilliant guy.
So he says that mild success can be explainable.
Fooled
by randomness. Because he's saying that he says, so mild success can be explainable by skills and labor. Wild success is attributable to variance. So he says that when you have
black swan.
Yeah, it's like that is that part of luck. That's that part of being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
That's that place that all of a sudden it's like, boom, statistically, what the fuck? Like, this is the average and you hit this. So how do we get ourselves there?
Yeah. How do you get to that tipping point?
Okay. So Francesco Marconi is somebody who, first of all, like I always say that the way of getting luck to appear is through action. You can't sit down and wait for luck. Like you have to go out and look for it.
Unless you're that really pretty girl sitting on the stoop. Unless
you're Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
That's true. But you know what? When those guys stop by and they're like, you need to be my movie, she could have been like, fuck you. Then she, ran back into her, and she wouldn't have done anything. But instead she chose to be like, I believe you, and go and keep doing that.
In the
so
car.
That's like, and she snowballed. So, okay. So there's the engage method to kind of making yourself more lucky. So part one of engage is E for engage, explore your meaning. So if you don't know what your meaning is, if you don't know what you need to do, you're not going to find your luck because you're going to be all over the place. You have no trajectory to focus that into. Number two, the N in engage is narrow your goals. Again, this is all about focus, because if you're all over the place, like, and I say trajectory, like you're going to go like, boom, 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 boom. Well, where are you going? Like
that's not a trajectory. Trajectory is one of those things on the graph that goes in like one direction. This.
Yeah, it goes
in
one
hopefully
direction.
It goes up.
Exactly. Then you got G, generate a plan. This is what you were talking about with the reverse engineering and everything else. Like looking at that.
Look at it, create a plan. Yeah. Figure out what you're trying to do.
How that's going to work and how you're going to do it. Also, the A in engage is anticipate roadblocks. So anticipate the bad luck that's going to happen, but don't freak out about it because you're going to
let it move out of your way eventually.
The G being gain persistence, because that's how you deal with the bad luck. Yeah. And then the E is elevate yourself. And I love that. Like just keep moving up. So every time the bad luck, you bounce off the bad luck, move up, move up, move up.
Keep going up.
This is our message is like, get high on the, get drunk on the creative possibilities.
Get drunk on the creative possibilities.
Get high on the creative possibilities of luck.
Do it.
Okay. So I'm going to give you some more how to get lucky. Number one, vary your routine.
Ooh. We've talked about this before. Remember?
Remember, guys. We've talked about this
mix
before.
It up. Don't
go
to the same cafe at the same time every day.
Thank you. Exactly.
You know how to do this. We've already talked about this.
We've told you. Like, if you only listen to us, you'd be so freaking
increase your statistical chances.
Yes.
Create some variation.
Exactly. Like, you will run into different people. You will have different opportunities presenting themselves. So I really... Yes, you are, babe.
Happy hour is ending in 5 minutes.
Happy hour ends in 5 minutes. So so you vary your routine and you open yourself up to more possibility, more possibility of chance kind of intervening. Okay, this is a really interesting one. Open up to more feedback. Okay?
Ooh, I hate feedback.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's going to keep not accepting feedback is going to prevent you from getting
lucky. In feedback, people, it's different than criticism.
It is different.
Although it feels like it's also veiled as constructive criticism.
But no. So some people know how to give constructive criticism. Yeah. So when in my writing group,
some people don't. I'm not going to name any names.
Some people don't. Some people don't.
I've had some bad experiences in the most recent past.
We all have.
Like specifically on Thursday.
Yes. Yes. And so did I.
Yeah, Thursday of last week was really fucked up. It was unlucky.
There was something unlucky in the stars. So I talk about the difference between critique and criticism. And so when you open yourself up to criticism, first of all, or to critique rather, to feedback, first of all, you're honing your craft. You're
Right.
learning, like if somebody's actually constructive, like they're telling you how to make yourself better,
Right.
how to elevate yourself. So you need to listen to that. Secondly, that person who's
But
telling
they
you
can
that,
also be trying to make themselves look better.
or they could be one of those successful, lucky people who are actually trying to send the elevator back down, trying to help you. So if it's a person who's slightly higher up, you're raising your average.
You have to
with
be
that
able
person.
to do the serenity prayer and figure out
you do.
if
it's
the person
worth
is
it,
trying to help
know.
you or if they're trying to fuck you.
Yeah. But you know deep down inside. But also by associating with that person that's just a little bit higher up in that road to success.
Oh, I
you're
agree.
making yourself
You got to
luckier.
hang
So
out with
that's-
people that are smarter than
That's
you.
important. Yes. Here's another really important one for creatives. Don't assume that failure and success are indicative of your merit or of your talent. Because they're not. You're going to fuck up sometimes, even if you're good.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're gifted, even if you deserve to succeed at some point,
Yeah.
you're going to fuck up. And that doesn't mean that you're not good and that you're not deserving.
Yeah.
So like, keep that in mind because you need to be resilient.
Yeah.
And you can't think, oh, I was unlucky, therefore I'll always be unlucky and I'll never win.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the way to go. Okay, here's another thing. Meet your heroes. So this again feeds into that mentorship. Put yourself in the place where your heroes are, because not only do they have the ideas and the connections that are going to help you,
But
just
they've
being
done
in that
what you
circle-
want to do.
They have, but also just being in that circle is going to
Yeah.
open up new opportunities.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I love that.
agree.
Listen to your intuition. So that's what we're talking about with like, do
Yeah.
you jump on that opportunity?
Yeah, I'm a big intuition person.
Listen, like what you did when you were like, okay, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to
Yeah.
California. Like
No,
that
it was a no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer
Because it was intuitive.
exactly.
It was intuitive.
I love that.
It was intuitive.
Expect good things to happen. So be positive.
Be
because
available for good things to
available
happen.
and positive.
Yeah. I
Don't
agree
let
with
the bad luck get you down. Like bounce.
Yeah, don't take it on and have
Yes.
it be your narrative that nothing good happens to me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then
that's not good.
no. And then remember that luck comes and goes. I mean, like we showed, like you can have periods where you feel
It's
like
like
you're
weather.
on a high. It's
There's
like
a
weather.
sunny day, there's a rainy day.
It comes
there's
and
a
goes.
sunny day, there's a rainy day.
Exactly. This is the average that we're looking at. We're trying to get that
But
upward
mostly
trajectory.
you want to live in a place where you have a lot more sunny days than rainy days.
Totally.
And
no,
that's
exactly.
that's what we're going for, right? So Northern California might be a good spot for you.
100%. Also, plan for success, but be ready to bail. Like, don't think like I need to go down with the sinking
Don't
ship.
go down with the ship, people.
Don't go down with the
That's
ship.
stupid.
You're not the captain. You don't need to do
Yeah,
that. Like
you don't need to do that.
Can bail.
You don't
at
drain
any time.
your bank account for
Yeah.
something stupid. Okay?
Exactly. And so that kind of is a good conclusion because basically, don't push your luck.
Yeah, don't push your luck.
Don't push your luck. Don't you love that?
I like that.
Don't push your luck. So if you want to be lucky as a creative, you want to put yourself, you want to make yourself available to luck, but don't push your luck. Just stop while you're ahead because that is the goal.
Yeah, you know
To
when you're
get yourself-
gambling and you make $100,
Stop while you're
there.
ahead and don't push your
cash
luck.
out.
Like, yeah, cash
Go
out.
to the next bar. You don't
I love
need to
that.
gamble all night
I love
long.
that. Go to the next
Stupid.
bar, get yourself a drink,
Get yourself a drink
have an orgasm or 7.
or 7, and
That's
get
it,
lucky
you guys. Get lucky.
on
Thanks
the creative possibility.
Exactly. Thanks for listening to us, you guys. We will see you
Next time,
woo, woo.
right here. Cheers.
Cheers.